I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games.
12-6 Boston.
I failed.
Why do we fall, sir? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed.
Ever tried, ever failed.
Like everyone else, you want to learn the way to win, but never to accept the way to lose.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions.
And you're gonna fail.
No matter.
And you're gonna fail.
Try again.
And you're gonna fail.
Fail again.
And you're gonna fail.
Fail better.
And then you're gonna win.
I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying.
Why can't you change your thinking? Everybody else does.
Because I'm a fighter. That's the way I'm made, Adrian. That's what you married. We can't change what we are.
I have failed far more times than I've succeeded. Far more. You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful. When you get through failing, all you got to do is make one.
The greatest successes come from having the freedom to fail.
You've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn. You know, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
This is what the fuck it takes. And you got to get it from wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life or this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, it's got to be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you got to pull it out. So that's the big thing for me, man. I was always fired up at all times.
If you play with a fear of failure, or you play with the will to win, or that supersedes the fear of failure, I think it's a weakness either way, right? Because if you play with the fear of failing, you'll have the pressure on yourself to play, to capitulate to that fear. If you play with the sense of I want to win, then you have the fear of what happens if you don't. But if you find common ground in the middle, in the center, then it doesn't matter. You're unfazed by either, right? And that enables you to really just stay in the moment, stay connected to it, and not feel anything other than what's in front of you. So I try to just be dead center.
To accept defeat, to learn to die is to be liberated from it. So when tomorrow comes, you must free your ambitious mind and learn the art of dying.
Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, and maybe even tonight after a few many glasses of champagne, remember this: fall forward.
So when you fail, it's a part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer. So every time you fail, say, whew, got that out the way. Go to the next one. Fail again, okay, I got two out the way. What's gonna happen is if you just keep swinging, you're gonna get a hit.
Failing, time and time after again, yeah. Like, I'm sure you'll agree with me with this. You learn nothing from success, nothing. You learn everything from the failures, and this is the thing that annoys me about the state that the world is in at the moment, is no one talks about failure anymore. It's like shame. Like, failure is shame, and it's like, oh, let's just bury that and not talk about it. No one goes, oh, what do we learn from this? Whereas with success, everyone shouts about it, but there's nothing in success. Success happens from failing hundreds of times.
that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna fucking make it and still be able to fucking make it because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no, but you still have the conviction that I know I can do this. And that's what it took for me to get here. But when you put that practice in, every day you lace them up, and I mean run, it's just a metaphor for life. When you lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll fucking win. If you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset of everybody can go fuck themselves. I know what I know. I've listened to myself enough to know I know what I know.
Fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. Sometimes it's just to not curse somebody out. Simple goals, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. And in this text, tweet, twerk world that you've grown up in, remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, she said, yeah, because you can run in place all the time and never get anywhere. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress.
Let me tell you very honestly, whatever happened to me happened because I've always been terrified of failure. I don't want as much to succeed as much as I don't want to fail. I come from a very normal, lower middle class family. I saw a lot of failure. My father was a beautiful man and the most successful failure in the world. My mother also failed to stay long enough with me to see me become a big movie star. We were quite poor actually, and let me tell you, poverty is not an ennobling experience at all. Poverty entails fear and stress and sometimes depression. I watched my parents go through this several times. At an early age after my parents died, I equated poverty with failure. I just didn't want to be poor. So when I got a chance to act in films, it wasn't out of any creative desire, I say this honestly. It was purely out of the fear of failure and poverty. Most of the films I signed were discards of better-known actors, and the producers could not find anyone else to do them. I did them all to make sure that I was working to avoid unemployment. The timing or something was right, I worked very hard, there were other people around it, and I became a big star. The films became big hits, which means sometimes Our success is not the direct result of actions, and let nobody tell you that. Success sometimes just happens. Really. It is accidental, and we have to take credit for it. I do it sometimes surely out of embarrassment. So I believe the true path to success is through the fear of failure. If you aren't scared enough of failing, you're unlikely to succeed. It's not pleasant to fail, it's tough. All of us experience it. You will too if you haven't already. So use it to succeed.
Nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit.
One big thing is a lot of people, it's hard to imagine, but you have to learn how to fail. Because I'm going to explain this to you. I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. So like when I was losing 106 pounds in 3 months, the first 2 months or first 2 weeks, it's like I was gaining weight. You know, I would lose a pound, gain 2. So I was just failing. I kept failing and kept failing and kept failing. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast, because my goals were to be a Navy SEAL. I don't have time to stay here and feel bad for myself for weeks and months and years, because I'll lose that time. So the big thing is know that if you have big goals and big dreams, along the way failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? And you got to teach yourself that. But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you got to have an unlimited supply of fucking fuck you. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody. And it has to be there, because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, people are like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you this fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes.
But it doesn't just happen overnight. You have to be rubbish, and you have to have people laugh at you, and you have to have people go, oh, come on, get a real job. No, this isn't really going to work. You have to, and you just have to have belief that eventually it is going to get better.
Where the hell does that belief in yourself come from?
The belief comes from, and I'm sure you feel the same way as well, of like, what else are you going to do? I love playing music. I love writing songs. I love performing. And I'm like, I can't do anything else. This is all I love to do. And I, early on, when I was like 17, 18, I remember I played a wedding and I played covers for 2 hours. And at the end of the wedding, I got given £200, which was like the month's rent. I was like, oh my God, I can get paid singing songs. And in that realization, I was like, whatever happens, I know I'm good. Somewhere in music, I'll be able to make a living. This is the thing that I say to kids as well when they want to get into music. I'm like, don't have a plan B, because if you have a plan B, when it gets difficult, you'll quit and you'll do the plan B. If you only have plan A, you will succeed, because you'll just be like, I have to do it, so it's going to happen.
It will also be rewarding, because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you.
Following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it.
But here's the thing, kidding aside, when I look back, It's those mistakes, it's those failures that actually sharpen the knife. The smoothest stone is in the roughest part of the stream. The most successful people I know, the happiest people I know, are the ones that went through the hardest times, the ones that failed miserably. Most successful people have gone bankrupt or lost all their money at one point. Most people in really happy relationships, like your dad is right now, like I am right now at this time in my life, it took me screwing up and making really bad mistakes and failing miserably in past relationships and doing the wrong things and thinking I was right and being too stubborn and not growing as a human being. But at the phase I'm at now, those mistakes crafted the man I am today.
Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, but do you have the guts to fail?
I would like to know when you're in that moment failing and you have to keep going, what do you say to yourself?
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call nigger and this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's fucking event. What if? That's it.
So the question is, what are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors, some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists, some of you have money, some of you have patience, some of you have kindness, some of you have love, some of you have the gift of long suffering, whatever it is, whatever your gift is. What are you going to do with what you have?